Gender expectations are becoming increasingly irrelevant as people realize it's not the only aspect of someone's lived experience. Typically, when we see this behavior in film, though, it focuses on a queer coded character. But this isn't only relevant or exclusive to queer people, as every person lives somewhere on a spectrum of identity and expression. Woman Demon Human is a film that bends these expectations. We follow Chu Yun as she deals with the struggles of existing outside the binary and navigating her career as a opera singer and actor. Her role as Zhong Kui heavily influences her view of herself and how others view her, starting at a young age. The film utilizes visuals to metaphorically show Yun's inner dialogue, often through somewhat cryptic scenes from Quelling the Demons, the opera that Zhong Kui is from. This disconnect also represents a dissatisfaction within herself, separated from parts of her identity due to social expectations of who she should be as a woman. The film begins in a space separated from reality, a version of Chu Yun preparing for a performance, split by varying distorted reflections. The exaggerated features in this scene lend to the physical expectations that are demanded of her. The film ends rather abruptly in a similar no space after she confronts Zhong Kui, finally accepting that part of herself that lives outside of the norm. When Yun first expressed to her father that she wanted to play male roles, his support came with the caveat that he would train her like a boy, implying that in order to play the part, her physical self must be more aligned with the strength and attitude of a man. So, already as a kid, she must alienate herself from the traditional stereotypes of femininity. We see her continually wrestle with this part of herself as she gets older too, trying to keep her stage performance separate from her personal life. The scene is soon followed by her being kicked out of a restroom because others thought that she was a boy, regardless of how much she and her friends insisted that they were mistaken. This leads to a crowd of primarily men demanding that she prove it, trying to strip her of her autonomy for the sake of conformity. Society tends to sexualize young girls, and this event probably contributed to her withdrawal from masculine and feminine traits, seeing that both have negative consequences. As she gets older, we see Yun's behavior is outside of what's expected of her, specifically how she treats her opera teacher, Zhang. The other girls she's with also exclusively refer to her as tomboy, further isolating her from them. This lack of respect she exhibits for authority is typically seen as boyish behavior, setting her apart from other girls as a teenager. She's one of the few, if not only, students that mocks him. But she still has this moment after being told off where she vows to curse off anyone who calls her a tomboy, revealing that part of her wants to blend in to typical femininity. After this interaction, we see her applying feminine makeup, an attempt to recover her feminine beauty, when Zhang approaches her. He tells her she looks beautiful and could play female roles if she wanted, but is made for the kung fu part. This causes her to reflect on who she wants to be, believing that the role she plays will reflect her gender identity. And wanting to embrace her femininity, she believes that her identity and expression must match, both on and off stage. While Zhang, in contrast, found her beauty to be in the fact that gender and costume retain their distinctions, finding Yun's separation of the two attractive. A while later, he finds her again practicing kung fu in the fields. This time, he professes his love before she exclaims against it and leaves. This sequence, in particular, shows her internal conflict, expressing her fear of returning to female identity. After all, she's so far outside of what's expected of her, surely there's no way to return to that, right? One of the last pivotal moments is in response to a potential sabotage of her performance. She spreads red, white, and black paint on her face. This is also the first time we see Yun and Zhong share the same figurative space. This is the moment of self-acceptance for Yun. While it may be out of rage, she feels that her existence is a performance switching between masculine and feminine. By smearing the paint on her face, she's not only obstructing the audience's view of her, but the colors themselves represent woman, demon, and human, respectively. Throughout the film, Yun is constantly at odds with her identity, specifically with gender. For her, masculinity and femininity were masks that she couldn't wear in tandem. But by the end of the film, she realizes that Her gender expression can lie anywhere between the two. Overall, it allows her to be more comfortable outside of the norm without a mask. Gender expression is a spectrum, and in the eyes of society, how one presents themselves changes how they're treated, which can drastically affect someone's self-view by extension. Chu Yun's journey throughout Woman, Demon, Human shows how femininity and masculinity are both attributes of a person that can coexist rather than being at odds with each other.